The American people elected Donald Trump to stop wasteful spending of taxpayers' money, to stop crime, to secure the border, to implement world peace. And what are Democrats doing? Crying their eyes out and losing their minds. And I absolutely love every second of it. Think about it. Democrats right now are going absolutely insane because Elon Musk is auditing all of their spending. Why would you be upset unless you had something to hide? All the wasteful spending. Millions here, a million there. Joe Biden and Democrats were paying media outlets to write good stories about them or publish good stories or go on TV and say good things about them, paying them taxpayers' money for propaganda, for positive propaganda on them. And of course, everything was negative against Donald Trump and conservatives. Go figure. Are you really surprised? Are you really shocked at all? Joe Biden should be in prison. He should be in Gitmo with Barack Obama and hundreds of other Democrats who are corrupt to their core, stealing, robbing, and selling the nation out to the highest bidder, rigging elections, changing the whole election. Remember one thing, RFK was a Democrat. His whole family's Democrats. Why did they change? Why did he change over? So was Elon Musk. He voted for Joe Biden in the first election. Well, Elon, so you have to be careful with the enemies that you make. Democrats look what they did to Elon's oldest son. You don't think this motivates him? You crossed the line. Look what you did to the man's oldest son. And you didn't think there was going to be payback and hell to pay? That's how stupid you are. Choose your enemies carefully. But Democrats, there's no boundaries with them. RFK, same thing. Whole family, Democrats, he was a Democrat his whole life. They wouldn't even let him run in the primary. And he said, you know what? I'm tired of this communist regime called Democrats. And, Democrats who are all about freedom and independence. And they're just full of it. They're absolute criminals. They all belong in prison. Let's watch what Trump's press secretary has to say.
Before I wrap up, because I do want to get to these meetings and I will see you all at the EO signing later this afternoon, I would just say that you brought to mind California and North Carolina, who continue to be on our hearts, and the president and this administration are committed to ensuring that these individuals get the funding that they need. And I would just say a strong message to Democrats who are out there pretending to be outraged about the long list of crap that this administration is cutting, federal waste and funding, like $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala, $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt.
Hold on. Democrats sent $2 million of taxpayers' money to Guatemala for sex changes as American citizens can barely survive and pay their bills and put food on the table. But hey, all the outrage. Elon Musk is taking over the government, according to Democrats. Trump is a dictator, according to Democrats. See, this is what happens when you put adults in charge and they want to make the government efficient. So all these liberal narratives come out. Trump thinks he's a Look at all the stupid people protesting Elon Musk auditing where American taxpayers' money is going. Meanwhile, they live in a shed with purple hair and tattoos across their face.
$20 million on a new Sesame Street show in Iraq, $4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. I could go on, and I'm happy to.
$4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. I mean, where's Kazakhstan? But hey, don't live in North Carolina or Florida with a flood and Joe Biden and Democrats will hand you a $600 check. Hey, here's your $400. Good luck.
provide this list to every single one of you. Democrats are outraged that the American people want to be, they want their taxpayers going to good uses, not stuff like this. But then they're very quiet about the fact that there are still North Carolinians and people in California who have lost everything. And in the last 4 years, this federal government did nothing to help them. This president will continue to put Americans first, and I think the successes of this week so far speak to that, and it's only Wednesday. So I'll see you guys later this week, and we'll see you this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Great. You know what? Here's another thing. Let me get off topic a little bit. All we hear is how Trump hates women. Trump is a womanizer. He hates women. He has no respect for women. His last two press secretaries are women. One of the most important jobs you can have in his cabinet, because she speaks directly to the public daily about what Trump is doing, what he's up to, if the media has any questions. So a woman is speaking for the White House. But according to Democrats, Trump hates women. He hates them. Hates them all. Right? Give me a break. So Jasmine Crockett, another corrupt Democrat with a mental disorder, you know, she goes on TV yesterday and says, she tells her constituents that they need to get in conservatives' faces and in their ASS you-know-whats. Let's watch that video. You see the sign? Nobody elected Elon, but we elected Trump. And he gave Elon a job to do, to audit the government and wasteful spending. So this whole narrative that I wouldn't expect anything less, because she's an idiot. So just like every other Democrat on the planet.
Going to sit around while you go ahead and desecrate our Constitution, or you look at the laws that have been passed into law and say, never mind, we'll just ignore that. Instead, we are going to be in your face, we are going to be on your asses, and we are going to make sure you understand what democracy looks like. We are not going to sit around.
Nothing is more disgusting than Democrats pretending like they care about the Constitution. And let me tell you something, Jasmine Crockett, your threats, getting in people's faces and butts and all the other garbage that spews out of your ignorant mouth. Let me tell you something. You and your constituents and liberals and green-haired freaks and all the coward communists, do yourself a favor. Don't get in anybody's face. Don't. If you want to listen to her, one day you're going to pull up or roll up on the wrong person that's not playing your game. So let me just give you some good advice. If any liberal nut job with green or purple hair, you know, a grown man that thinks they're a woman in a dress and heels, or any other commie scum, do yourself a favor. Don't get in people's face. Don't get in people's you-know-whats. I mean, you're more than welcome to try. I guarantee it doesn't go good for you. Just like you're entitled to your opinion and she's entitled to her opinion, I'm entitled to my opinion, and so are conservatives. Don't listen to her, because it might not end well for you. Let's look at one of Donald Trump's tweets. Looks like billions of dollars have been stolen at USAID and other agencies, much of it going to the fake news media as a payoff for creating good stories about the Democrats, the left-wing rag known as Political. Seems to have received $8 million. Did the New York Times receive money? Who else did? This could be the biggest scandal of them all, perhaps the biggest in history. The Democrats can't hide from this one. Too big, too dirty. Of course it did. Of course the money went. Come on, at this point. But the real question is, are people going to be prosecuted? Are politicians and police officers who don't cooperate with ICE, are you going to finally prosecute Democrats who think they're above the law? Are you going to finally go after Joe Biden, Barack Obama, when it all comes out that they were involved in this? Because, I mean, not that I needed, I personally don't need to be told this, because I already knew this. Of course, Democrats were using taxpayer money to fund all their corruption and scandals and every other garbage thing they do on the planet. Of course they are. or getting a kickback. You know, they give $4 million to sex changes in Guatemala. You don't think the politician that got the money sent there gets a kickback somehow from them? Of course they do. So only Democrats would have a... See, Democrats are like those purple-haired dirtbags that you see that freak out, you know, at the local Wawa when a sandwich isn't made the right way, and they go crazy and tear the place up and throw things on the floor and jump up and down and scream how they were mistreated. That's what Democrats are. That's what the Democratic Party is. That's what the elected Democrats are. And that's exactly how they're acting right now. Because if you had nothing to hide, why would you care about an audit? You'd be like, all right, go ahead, audit. I don't care. I did what I was supposed to do with the money. They're going completely insane because all their corruption is about to come out. Of course, you're going to hear from Democrats how, you know, the USAID was feeding poor children in foreign lands and helping women that were all lies. Majority of the money is going to Democrats and their schemes and their corruption, paying off the media and everybody else to write positive stories about them and slander and prosecute and do the things that they do to Donald Trump and Republicans. That's what goes on. It's also being reported that Chelsea Clinton's got $85 million in USAID money. Go figure. We all knew it was corrupt, but now you're really going to see how corrupt it actually is. Chelsea Clinton ranking in $84 million. The apples don't fall too far from the tree like Bill and Hillary, the murderers that they are, the liars, the thieves. They're into everything. Sex trafficking, human trafficking, sexual assault, money laundering, murder. It's the Clinton crime family. Go figure. Why would anybody be surprised? I'm going to end it with this lovely video showing all Democrats meltdown over it boils down to one thing. They're going to be held accountable for their actions for once in their lives. So they have to go and try to put a spin on it. You know, Trump is a dictator and Elon is a Nazi. This video sums it up perfectly.
We cannot allow Elon Musk and a small group of people to secretly behind closed doors. Yes! We cannot.
Well, there's only one thing that would bring me more joy than seeing Democrats and liberals melt down over their corruption and behavior, and that's seeing them in prison where they belong. So I can write them letters every single day reminding them what the evil communist scum they actually are.